Azure versus AWS versus Google, multi-cloud versus hybrid cloud, private cloud versus public cloud, which cloud platform should I learn? If you want to know, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Michael Gibbs and I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects, and we're an organization that's dedicated towards building high-performance cloud computing and networking careers. Personally, I've been in the technology field for over 25 years, and I've been helping others get their first tech job or get promoted in tech for over 2 decades, and there's no better feeling in the world when someone calls you and says, I got cloud hired. So today we're going to talk about which cloud you should learn. And this is a question that people ask me, literally speaking, every day. And someone says, should I learn Azure? Should I learn Amazon Web Services? Should I learn Google? And I say, don't learn any of them. Instead, learn the cloud. And they ask me, what do you mean the cloud? And then I ask them the next question and I say, do you know how to drive? And they always say yes. And I said, have you ever driven a car that wasn't yours? And they say yes. I said, did you go to special training to drive the car that was not yours? And they laugh and they say, of course not, it's a car. And I said, I want you to take that same attitude towards the cloud. Don't learn a single cloud, learn the cloud. See, that is the secret to building a perfect cloud architect career, solution architect career, or enterprise architect career. And we'll discuss this in much more depth. See, here's the thing. The cloud is just a virtual network and a virtual data center. And when you learn the cloud, you always know what to do. See, where people go wrong when they try to be cloud architects or solution architects or cloud engineers is they do the following. They learn the name of a service and how to configure that service, because that's what certification training is. Here's an EC2 instance. Here's how to configure it. This is an S3 bucket. Here's how to configure it. But that doesn't teach you anything. That kind of knowledge of this and how to configure it, that's a technician at best. That's not what engineers do. That's not what architects do. Imagine going to the doctor and saying, here's a pill, here's the dose. I don't know how to diagnose you, and I don't know what condition I'm treating you for, but here's a pill. Now that's not how you build a cloud architect, so I want you to learn the cloud. Now, there's a big difference between knowing the cloud and knowing the name of a service and how to configure it. So if you want to be a cloud architect, a solutions architect, an enterprise architect, you need to learn the cloud. So it's like driving a car. You don't learn how to drive a Mercedes. You don't take special training to learn how to drive a Honda and then take special training for a Toyota. You learn how to drive. So let's talk about this a little more. Train like a cloud architect. So first and foremost, learn the foundational technologies. What is that? It is the network and the data center. The cloud is just a network and a data center. Everything we do in the cloud, we've been doing in the network and the data center for decades. You want to know something more? Every service we have in the cloud maps to a network and a data center service. So if you want to know the cloud, learn the services in the first place. Learn what virtualization is, because that's the main computing platform in the cloud. Learn what containers are, because whether you're in the data center or the cloud, it's the same thing. Learn about storage. Block storage, object storage, file storage, it's the same in the data center as it is the cloud. The only thing that changes is the name. So learn the tech, learn about routing, learn about switching, learn about firewalls, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, and you know the cloud. Microsoft Active Directory for IAM, for example, same on or off the cloud. It's the same concepts. Learn the cloud. So I want you to learn it like an architect. Let's say you need a server. In your data center, chances are you're using a virtual server, maybe on VMware ESXi or using the KVM hypervisor or something like that. But in your data center, your servers are probably on a virtual machine. You know what they are on the cloud? In a virtual machine. And it doesn't matter if it's called an Azure virtual machine, a Google Compute Engine, or an EC2 instance. Guess what? They're all functionally equivalent. They are just a virtual machine. Let's say, for example, you need a not only SQL database because you need a flexibility in your schema and you need unlimited scalability or near unlimited scalability. You need a NoSQL database. Now you as an architect need to determine, is that Apache Cassandra? Is that MongoDB? Is it DynamoDB with AWS, Cloud Bigtable? It is up to you, the architect, to decide. But if you don't know what is a NoSQL database and why organizations use NoSQL databases, then you'll never know what to do. And if it's a hybrid cloud, maybe you're running a Nutanix cloud in your data center or an OpenStack Ansible cloud in your data center, and you connect it to the cloud, you'll still be good because you're going to know the functional equivalents. I'll give you one more example. Let's say you need object storage being a type of storage area network. And object storage is really unique because it takes the data, it breaks it down into objects, and each object has metadata. It's that metadata that enables you to create data lake and big data environments. That metadata is very useful. So if you're in your data center and you want to create a data lake, or you've got a multi-cloud network or a hybrid cloud network, it's all the same. So it could be your object storage in your data center. If you're on AWS, it could be called S3. It's the same object storage. If you're on Microsoft, it could be called Blob. And if you're on Google, it's called cloud storage, but it's all object storage. So if you know about the object storage in the data center, then you know how to move it to the cloud. See, it's not about learning the name of a service and how to configure it. It's knowing what the design is. That's the work of the cloud architect or the solutions architect. So don't learn a cloud. Don't learn how to drive a Toyota. Learn how to drive a car. And then you drive your Toyota, your friend's Mercedes, your buddy's BMW. It doesn't matter because you know how to drive. So it's the same thing. Realistically speaking, let's pretend you're a building architect, for an example. Do you think the building architect knows the brand of steel that's sitting at Home Depot versus Lowe's versus another store? Of course not. They know they need steel of a certain strength. You're an architect. If you want to be a great cloud architect, solutions architect, enterprise architect, learn what it is you're doing. Basically, learn those network and data center services, learn the cloud, and you are a great architect. And then, if it's Azure, great. If it's AWS, great. If it's GCP, great. If it's Oracle, great. If it's Nutanix, great. If it's OpenStack Ansible, great. If it's Palo Alto, you get the point. It doesn't matter. If you are a cloud architect and you train by learning the cloud, it's just like learning to drive. You drive a car. You're like me, you travel a lot. You go to the airport, you go to a car rental, and you turn the key and you drive. Guess what? If I talk to a company about object storage, it's object storage I discuss. I don't mention service names. I discuss the tech. And that way, I can select the tech from the store. I view the cloud providers as a vendor because they are. So if I need steel, I go to Home Depot to buy steel, or Lowe's. I buy steel of a certain strength. If I want to use a cloud service, I go to the cloud provider and I purchase what the customer needs or recommend what the customer needs. And it's going to be different on every cloud provider. But you know what? The tech is the same. The underlying technology is the same. How the services work are the same. For the most part, the only differences are the name of them and how to configure them, which you can easily look up on a configuration guide. Here's what you can't look up on a configuration guide: how things work and how to design them and how to make them work together. That is the skill of the cloud architect. So if you want to build an amazing cloud architect career or a solution architect career, it's not about hybrid clouds. It's not about multi-clouds. It's not about this cloud provider versus this provider. It's about the cloud. Learn the cloud, learn all the pieces and parts and components that make the cloud, the network, and the data center possible, and it's up to you, the designer, to find a way to transform the organization's business through the use of all these wonderful technologies. This is Michael Gibbs. I'm the founder and CEO of Go Cloud Architects, and today we're talking about learning the cloud. I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Take care. It was so nice having you join us for this video today. Let me tell you about some free services we do for the cloud community. Twice per week, we have a free How to Get Your First Cloud Architect Job webinar, where we tell you all the things you need to do and know to get your first cloud architect job. In addition to that, once per week, we actually have a free question and answer session live on YouTube, where you can come and ask us any questions you want about building your career related to cloud computing or networking, and we'll answer them in real time for you because we want to get you to your goals. Several more times per week, we have guests from industry experts that I've known for decades that are movers and shakers that have changed the world, that can give you information so you can build the best career. I invite them periodically. They are on my show. If there's a chance to do some free training on our channel, we'll do it live because we want you to all to have the best skills for the best career. So please subscribe and hit the bell. I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to assisting you in your technology career. Thank you so much. This is Michael Gibbs from Go Cloud Architects.